Excuse me, I just cleared my throat, I think, right as I was going live. I'm so sorry about that for anybody that's watching this after the fact. Um, Hello. I'm going to be live here for a little bit, probably, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. I'm actually about to head out to the gymnasium. Who calls it a gymnasium anymore? But I need to go to the gym. I need to work out. I need to get back into shape. And it's hard working out at home. I hate working out at home. What's up from Europe? Frankie Jr., hello. New Hampshire. Hi, Linda. All right, guys. Well, I in the title it says I'm moving again. Yeah, I'm moving again. It is official. I've not signed the lease. However, I've signed a welcome letter. Oh yeah, there's my reflection. I probably should turn this so you guys can't like see the back of my Astoria. Brian, I've been from Astoria, or I've been to Astoria, and it is freaking gorgeous. Yeah, Paper Trader Pro. That's pretty cool. I'm going to say where that is in a minute, but it is official that I just signed a welcome letter to. I can't believe I'm like turning like this. It's kind of weird. Yorkshire. Is it Yorkshire? Is it Yorkshire? The United Kingdom? Janine, you're welcome. I caught up on some emails. I'm about 4 days behind or 5 days behind, which has been fantastic. So where I'm moving to is the great city of Las Vegas, of all places. I decided that I'm going there, and I am. The reason I'm going there is for many different reasons. But if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I've had a severe itch to go back into the stand-up comedy world, and I decided to do that full force. I wanted to do that in 2020, and for obvious reasons, I couldn't do it. So I'm getting back into it in now 2021, and I can do small shows here and there, but I want to go full force. What's up from Roswell, New Mexico? Aliens. So I want to go back into stand up, and I also want to feed my soul in regards to tiny, obviously tiny living, but adventure and travel and things like that. So Vegas to me is a really good hidden gem for that, where I can go to so many different national parks within anywhere less than 4 hours away. It's crazy the amount of things that are there. So that is why I'm going and doing what I'm doing, and I need to get that out in the first couple of minutes of the live. So for people that were interested, but if you have any Las Vegas questions, you're more than welcome to ask. I also lived there back in 05, 06, 07, so I am very familiar with the city and how it all operates, et cetera, and so forth, blah, 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 blah. I'm not, by the way, I'm not stopping anything with this channel. I will still do crap ton of tours. I will still be doing a lot of tiny living. I still have dreams and aspirations to do Ghost Town, which is the tiny dwelling, area where there's vans and homes and all that stuff. So all of that is still happening. It's not like it's going anywhere. But people that have been following me quite a while know that this stuff takes time. I'm a one-man show that does not like doing loans, or I can't do loans, and I have no other financial backing, help from anybody. So I don't know how these other people are doing it, but they just make more than money than I do, I guess. Ooh, you asked there was a question up here a minute ago, and I wanted to from MANG Entertainment. Hey, in the van with the Murphy bed, did you write off the office space as business expense? Or was there any obstacles that was so the person that does my taxes, sole proprietor and LLC. If you're a sole proprietor, it doesn't matter. Yes, you can write it all off, but I guess it protects you a little bit more if you had an LLC or an S corp. I don't. Again, you got to find an accountant that really. I don't do my own taxes. I pay somebody else, and I would much rather pay somebody else to do that. This is kind of like, if you are unfamiliar with something, just pay somebody else. But yes, you can write off stuff if you, depending on how you set it up. But there's absolutely ways to do that if you run a business out of a van. I give it to somebody and they do it. You watch a lot of my videos. Thank you so much. You asked the question, when some users build it for 20K, how? And I mean, only build. Yeah, that's a great question. I think I budgeted my next van right around 20, and that was like I was cutting a lot of corners. So it is very, very difficult. Whoever asked that, I'm sorry, I didn't get the name. Yes, yes, JHale SLC. I probably can, and no, I will not do that. Oh boy. The point is I have the same stuff in my van, same fans and fridge and stuff. Okay. Uh no, TT, but nothing wrong with it. Is there any of you stand up on YouTube? Yes, Brian. I have another channel. However, I haven't been on stage. I don't want to say competitively, but like in like a large room or a professional room in probably 18 months. And I did a show a while back, like a while back. And damn, I missed that. And so all of the shows that I have on my other page, which is Who's This Effing Guy, is older stuff. And I will slowly put that stuff out more and more. But my other channel will also have my podcast when eventually I get around to recording the intro podcast for the first episode. And I already have the second episode recorded, and then third episode, fourth episode, etc., and so forth. You can't wait for new videos. My ex and I were out there at Nellis Air Force Base. No way. That's pretty awesome. I know Nellis quite well. Yeah, I guess I could say the area. I'm like, if you broke up Vegas into quadrants, I'm in the north. I'm going to the northeast quadrant. So anybody that knows Vegas knows exactly what I'm talking about. We'll have to hang out when you get to the Vegas. I'm in the Sedona. Yeah. Awesome, Janine. Yeah, I should make it down to Phoenix quite often. TT, I'm probably not funny. And you can sign off at any point. You can, I mean, if you're on here and you don't think I'm funny, then why are you on here? I could say some nasty stuff, but that's my other channel. Why don't you come say that to my face, TT? I'm cool with that too. It's Yorkshire. Oh, good to know, Edward. Thank you. I did not know this. I guess I say Shire because I don't know. Oh, okay. Totally tax deductible. Yes, Janine, you're absolutely right. What will you be living in while in Vegas? So I got an apartment. I signed a short lease on an apartment with hopes to do some tiny land development in the future, and I didn't want to restrict myself. So I did get an apartment. However, I have my Jeep that I'll be taking out very, very, very often. I'm also not leaving the Bend area because I'm in Bend, Oregon. I'm not leaving it for another 2 months. So number one, my place won't be ready, and just to amuse you, TT, tell you a joke. You wouldn't get my stuff is too highbrow for you, anyways. Put it that way. Gotta run. Thank you, No Man's Van. Okay, just wondering what was thinking of putting an office in a van. Yeah, you absolutely can, and there's ways to do that. I remember you had said in one of your vids about a stove sink and not being able to, yeah. So if you have some stuff hidden inside of a van, then technically you can make it into an office. But if you make a van under an LLC or an S corp, I believe that like it's allowed anyways. There's so many like loopholes and ways around that. But yeah, that's for another day. I've had to deal with life. Did you finish the recycling shower, Brian? No, it wasn't. I wasn't designing it. That's through Van Life Tech. He's in beta testing right now, it's been great. But the beta test hasn't come back negative. It came back with some stuff that they needed to fix. So it's they don't want to. Van Life Tech doesn't want to release a product, and they did this with the floors as well. They don't want to release a product until it's like good enough where it can go out into the field and they're not getting phone call after phone call after phone call, trying to fix that issue. So that's why they haven't released it to the masses yet. Others have done DIY recirculating showers, which is fine. It's just this one's a little different. The recirculating shower is a very hard task to do because of the filtration system. Yes, Laura, the Boston accent does come out. What's up, Alexander? Is it Alexander? You couldn't live in the city streets in a van. You couldn't live on the city streets in a van. Had to make it into an office. You know, Lisa, I actually completely disagree with that. And oddly, I just finished recording is how to stealth park in cities. I recorded that video. I should say I finished editing. I just recorded that video yesterday, and that video will be coming out on Sunday. Probably asking yourself, why is it going to take so long? My vlogs come out on Sunday and my tours come out on Thursdays. And I was trying to get ahead of it because it's a sponsored video and I need to set it off. I need to set it off. I send it to the sponsorships and get approval on it. So that video actually will teach you and show you how to park in a city, and it's actually very easy. And it's a ton of information in like a 20-minute video. So Lisa, I kind of disagree with you on that one, and you can definitely check out that video when it does come out. And again, I lived in city streets. I lived in Los Angeles for like 2 years on the streets. I rarely went out camping, and finally I did in my second van, but I had 2 years in my first van for sure. If that's what you were getting at, I have no idea. Maybe I just read that too quickly, and I have no idea what the heck I was reading just now. Sorry. I've spent some nights in the city streets. Yeah, Dave, I know you have. Again, there's nothing wrong. I like to say that I was a hybrid between or stealth and camping or government land. My family are moving off grid to North Washington, just east of the Columbia River. Interesting. If it was just east of the Columbia, does the Columbia River go up? I didn't realize that. I thought Columbia just went along the Oregon Washington line. We were going full solar and wind, but it's the water collection and want to reuse if possible. Are you getting land and building a tiny and you want to do a recirculating with that, or you want to do, or are you talking van, Brian? I was trying to remember what the van owner said. There was a reason he made it into an office. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember that too. Actually, Lisa, you brought up a good point. Obviously, that video was a while ago. It'll come to me at some point. Tiny. Okay, so Brian, you are doing a tiny. It's scary when cars are racing by. Dave, Brian, I'll get to you in a second. Dave, you bring up a good point. When you're on a street and cars are flying by you, that is it centrifugal force. I don't know what that force is called, but you can feel the van sway depending on what the speed limit on the street is. It's kind of scary sometimes, and yeah, it's yeah. All right, so Brian, you talk about doing a tiny. Doing a van and doing a tiny are going to be completely different. I'm assuming you're going to put a tiny on a piece of land, and it's not going to be you might have it on wheels, you might be more stationary, but you have a lot more leeway how to do a water recycling system on a tiny on said land than somebody in a van would. You have a lot more options, but I'd have to look a lot more into that. And you could even do like an open source where there's a company over in Europe that does a recirculating shower. Again, getting that water possibly from a well, depending on if you dig your own, or maybe collecting rainwater or something along those lines. There is a way to have plenty of water off grid, especially where you're going, Brian, which is in the Washington state. I know you're going more on the eastern side of the state, from what I understand. So it's going to be a little bit drier, but you should still have enough rain, water collection, etc., to do this. Lisa is talking about the Buck SD making his van look like an office for the loophole in San Diego. Yeah, Dave, I think you were right there. And that's why we did the Murphy bed, right? Because if you have the side door open, which again I never did in a city setting, But if you had the side door open and a cop is walking by, which is what is the chances of all this happening? And they peek in and they're like, "Oh, you're living out of that." You could be like, "No, this is my traveling office." So yes, technically you could do that. However, if you have a fixed bed and your van is registered to your name or under your business name, by the way, you have to keep it as a commercial vehicle at that point, and you have paperwork on your van on your bed, technically it is a mobile office. That is what I heard. I have no idea how true this is because it's never happened with me in law enforcement. But it's something that it's like what if it's not going to happen, plain and simple. Is that makes better sense for everybody? Four tiny homes on 80 acres. That's a crap ton of land you got there, Brian. Good for you. In Los Angeles, you always see that car that was parked on the side of the road that got smashed. Yeah, and it's scary. It's very scary. I got into a horrific car accident from a drunk driver, and that I wasn't parked, but I was coming out of a parking spot, and he must have been doing 65, 70 miles an hour on Wilshire Boulevard. I'll never forget it. I couldn't sleep for a week after that. I should have been killed. I should have been killed. That was many years ago, guys. But I walked away because I was in a Lincoln Navigator. I was a limo driver. Firehawk, thank you, bud. I decided not to come to Colorado, which was actually was my first choice, and then I landed on Vegas, and for a bunch of reasons, like I mentioned before. But Denver was actually was right there with Las Vegas. I had an idea of a curtain. Oh, I didn't turn my phone on silent, guys. Hold on, I apologize. Hello? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was my garbage company that I have to pay the bill on, so I should probably I'm gonna be ending this so I can call them back. Because when you're in like a suburban city, which is what I'm in, I didn't pay my damn trash. I don't know why that didn't go through. That's weird. I got to check on that. Now I'm kind of pissed off. I'm thinking Frankie Jr. I'm in the middle of my first trip with the van. 1/3 built out, Mass or Oregon. I'm in East Oregon now. It's working out well. Pretty good. Mass to Oregon, not Mass or Oregon. That's awesome, bud. Congratulations. 1/3 built out. You got a ways to go. um, what's up from Michigan? What I had an idea of like a curtain that automatically deploys to cover the entire floor, or excuse me, roof, to hide solar panels and a fans at night. You guys are thinking way outside the box. So people in buildings can't deflect to your stealth camping. I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, nobody cares. I'm really telling you guys this. If anybody has like lived on the streets of any city, nobody cares. Nobody like obviously there's going to be people that call the cops, but like we avoid them at all costs. We just stay away from those people or stay away from those neighborhoods. I would never park in Beverly Hills because guess what? I'm going to get called on constantly. I would never park in West Hollywood. I'd get called on because there's a bunch of Karens there, right? It's a bunch of people that, you know, think they're better than everybody else. Just stay away from them. That's all. Van life. Boom. uh, Would love to hear your thoughts on recycling water system about the S-Bar air heat in junction with water heater diesel tap combo. I know you have a radiant heating currently. Well, in my last man, I did. Okay, this is a problem because I don't want to give a very long-winded answer. So, Connor, I guess the easiest way for me to say this is it's the best heating and hot water way. That's a hydronic system. So Rixon's, Van Life Tech, which is what I had, and I think Van Life Tech is one of the better ones, and Elwell. Elwell makes a system called the Timberline system. It's made by Elwell. So I would go with either Van Life Tech or the Elwell company. Now, those are hydronic systems. Van Life Tech has obviously spent a little more time doing research and development. Hydronic heating is really good. SBAR that's a level of hydronic SBAR, or there is a way to do SBAR into a hydronic system. I can't get too technical with it because I would go on for 30 minutes on just this one answer. But I really think that is the best way to do it. If you were to do like the SBAR, air top heater you'd have to get a separate water tank. So you have to do it a hydronic system, from what I understand. Recycling shower. Again, this is not an easy thing to do in a van. There's a lot of DIYers out there, and there's a lot of people that have done it. I don't think I haven't seen those in person, with the exception of Buck SD's, and even Buck SD said in his video, there's really no need to do this, because he was like, yes, you can still take a military shower, which is the on and off switch, and you would use like a liter of water. In comparison to a recycling shower, yes, you would probably use a recycled 2 gallons of water, and you could take an unlimited hot water shower if you had all of the systems set up in place, which is not easy to freaking do. It's a lot of trial and error and a lot of computer programming too. And that is why it has taken Van Life Tech 2 years to come up with this. He's going through so many different computer programs, and I don't mean to be like angry with anybody. I'm just very passionate about this. It takes a while to do that kind of stuff. Karens, yeah, they're funny. So hopefully that kind of makes sense to everybody. And who was that? Connor Rockhill. Did that make sense to you, most especially because you're the one that asked? I think if that's the best of the best, though. Having a hydronic system, the combo heat and hot water, absolutely, that's the best. And then, if you can do a recirculating shower, if you want to do one, then fine. Or you could just wait until the Van Life Tech system comes out, because I have physically seen a couple people now that have tried to emulate the Van Life Tech system and fail miserably. And then they end up buying it anyway. So it's like, why not just pay someone to they've already done the many years of R&D on this. That's my take on it. That's right. Yeah, you'd have to have special permitting, Dave, to park in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, et cetera, and so forth. Yeah, skip the electrical and heater so I could relax a bit before I left. Good call on that. Afternoon, folks. Hello. What I wonder is the laws on having a large amount of an airsoft guns. Interesting. In the back of your van. Well, technically, you're allowed to carry even an actual gun not on your body, but like in a vehicle, because that is a personal property. Same as like a house. Your house is your personal property. So technically you're allowed to have it in there as long as you have it obviously registered. And then there's like other laws in different states. You have to have it locked. You have to have this. You have to have that. So I don't know about airsoft guns, but that's a good question. And obviously the person that asked that, he's got sniper in his name. Good job. And crossing state lines, again, it's one of those things that is like, we'll see. It's funny. I don't own a van, but building a plumber box, zero experience. Good luck. That's awesome. Thank you. Totally understand about the depth of it. It is deep, Connor. I thought there was an option to have an SBAR air heat and a water heat system. I just don't know if I want to pay $10K for the full hydronic. Yeah, so there, Connor, you have to just do them separately. So you can do the air top, SBAR, and then you would have to get like an ISOtemp, or I know people that do the Bosch hot water heaters. Those are not they have a limit to it. It's just like having a hot water tank in your house. So it has a limit to how many gallons it holds, whether it's 2 gallons, 4 gallons, 8 gallons, whatever it is. That amount will heat up. There was another thing I guess you could use a heat exchanger, but having water going through a heat exchanger, the problem with that is temperature control. So now you need to figure out how you're going to control the temperature, because if you're bringing liquid through a heat exchanger, I think it heats it up to 160 degrees. Yeah, that'll burn you if you are having that go through a water system onto your body as a shower. So you have to control that heat, and that's where the motherboard and things like that come into play. Whew. I gave a lot of information in 25 minutes just now. Buck Nasty uses separate water heater and pump a small tank in a recirculating shower and not a yeah. Again, very, I would say complicated, just a ton of R&D. You didn't mean to type Buck Nasty, but that's a pretty cool name. I kind of like it. It'll be in the case built into the wall. Yeah, if you get pulled over, I think you have to just disclose the information. With airsoft guns, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how those work, to be honest with you, because I don't own one. You wish you got the Rixon all, man, go with the LL. The LL, I think, is a cheaper version. It's a less expensive, and it's better than a Rixon. Cost wise, LL and then Van Life Tech. But I think the Van Life Tech is like just better as a product. It's like buying a Mercedes over a ProMaster. ProMaster gets the job done. It's just Mercedes. You're buying a Mercedes. Hope that makes sense. Seems like there's a lot of available storage space under the vans that goes to waste. Space would up. So a lot of the reason, Mark, good point. The reason why people don't use that as space is because of temperature control. So climate change. A lot of people go into the mountains. They don't want their water tanks freezing. I've heard some people, you can heat a water tank, which is fine. You can also put maybe boxes or storage underneath. Also ground clearance. Anybody that's taking a van off road, Mark, they don't want to like bottom out or damage any tank that they put underneath the van. But a lot of it has to do with climate control. If you keep everything inside the van, you don't have to worry about freezing tanks or something along those lines. There is a type of motherboard control board that attempt to control a heat exchange. That's the term I was trying to say with the S-bar, with the water heat combo. So is there a temp or not that I know of. I think you have to build your own for the heat exchanger. I don't know, because I just bought the ones that companies sold. But again, this is something I'd have to look more into or deeper into. So yes, you could use the heat exchanger. I don't know what. I'm sure there is like some sort of device that you could control the temperature of your water coming out of a heat exchanger. I don't know what it's called. Maybe somebody will write it down on here. West Roxbury. Oh boy. Tough neighborhood. West Roxbury. 4K a month. What's 4K a month? Ghost Sniper. What were you even referencing to? Does anyone know what the max weight of a Sprinter roof can take? Interesting question. Spread out over the whole area. I would assume quite a bit, because my friends over at Tiny Watt Solar built a box up there. Granted, it's out of fiberglass, but their first box was out of plywood, and they use it as a storage container. So, and you've seen a lot of weight up on these Sprinters. So I'm sure they can handle quite a bit of weight. But what are you thinking of putting up there, my man? Jeez. Oh, man, I'm shaking my camera. I trust your opinion. Thank you, Dave. Really, from experience, I wish I did the Propex. I wish I didn't get the Propex. I didn't realize you had the Propex, Dave. Yeah, I wish you didn't do that either. It's not that it's bad. It's just I think there are better options out there. The Propex isn't bad. A lot of people have it. A lot of people use it. What I don't like about it is you have to keep on refilling that damn thing. You got to find the propane stations. And I didn't believe the van floor would get as cold as it is, even when it's not that cold. My goodness, Dave, I'm so glad you said that. Oh, people don't even know. People don't even know how cold floors get in vans. Even when it's 50 or 60 degrees outside, they're like, it's nice out, it's cool, it's chill, it's fall, spring day. No, you're cold as freaking, your floor is freaking cold. It is nice to have that radiant floor heating. Is it worth the price? That's up to you. It is not a cheap endeavor to get a radiant floor heating. Now I had it, I love it, it's amazing. When the van life building and things like that progress, people will start to see how valuable those floors are. And when they start to see them, when you touch it in person, when you put your hands on there, you put your bare feet on that radiant floor heating, nothing better, guaranteed. But it's an expensive price tag. Troy, get on that. Can you get your price down? It's not easy. He's not even making a lot of money off it. No, Janine, ProMaster does not make a four-wheel drive. When the Ram company, ProMaster, Dodge, whatever you want to call them, when they designed that, they originally had in mind this was going to be the new delivery vehicle for massive fleets. They are meant to be on pavement. They can handle bad weather, rain, snow, etc. But it is very and then they can handle off road like an overlanding situation, but like off roading, sand they don't do very well in. But you got to get better tires and wheels on there. I had one; it worked out great. I had no problems with it, but the rear wheels do a little bit better, and obviously 4x4s do that much better. Let's see here. Ghost Sniper, you're just putting like random words out there. Like you remind me of what's his name on what was that movie? Anchorman. Thank you for name. Have you heard much feedback or experience on the Planner diesel heaters? If yes, what are their initial thoughts and comparison brands to like an S-Bar? So the Planner diesel heater, I actually have as a portable diesel heater because a company, I think they're called Total Composites or Exploration Upfitter. I bought it off of them. It's expensive. It was like $1,200, but I use it for my rooftop tent. I think there's a ticking noise in it I don't like, and it's not that's normal. But the S bars, I don't think they do things like that. They don't make a ticking noise. I think they are relatively the same as an S bar. I think S bar just attached their name to a really good product, and now they can start charging what they charge for it. But planer S bar, it's kind of right there, I would say. I believe the planers are out of Russia, I think, and the S bars are, I don't remember, maybe German. I don't remember. I want my Tesla RV. Go Sniper. So do I. Yes, so do I. Oh, you put socks in because of the cold floors. I get it. Oh man. Mark Toppin, what's up from Colorado? It's a Fiat Ducato, aka Ram ProMaster. Well, actually, a Fiat Ducato is a Fiat Ducato if you really want to get technical with us. And then a Ram ProMaster is a Ram ProMaster. I know it's not made by Dodge, however, it's under the same umbrella. Technically, they're all under the Fiat umbrella because Fiat owns all of that. Or I guess you could call it Chrysler. Well, Fiat owns Chrysler, Chrysler owns Dodge, Dodge owns Ram, Ram makes the ProMaster. You can look all that up. But the Ducato and the ProMaster are actually similar, but there's a lot of engine differences. The ProMaster has the Pentastar motor, and the Ducato has whatever the Ducato has. But they couldn't bring a lot of the components from the Ducato into the Ram ProMaster. But who's to say what's right and wrong? How does the ProMaster do in snow? I think it does really well. I actually drove it in a blizzard when I was driving cross country the first time I got it. It was an absolute disaster, but it was great. I mean, it worked. We drove it through a blizzard. we hit the blizzard in Cleveland, and we didn't stop it until Boston, which is where I was driving to. And my goodness, normally that drive is about I want to say it's only like a 12 or 13 hour drive, and it took us 18 hours to do that drive. It's crazy. It was one of the most stressful times I've ever driven. Have you lined up any gigs in Vegas? No, not yet. Just because I'm not going for another 2 months, bud. Are there many comedy clubs in the area? Yeah, there's a whole bunch, but I'm more looking for open mics, the good mics that I could go out and practice at, because that's what it's all about. And currently where I am, there's no way for me to like do that kind of life where I can go out and get my sets together. And then from Vegas, I can go to Salt Lake City. I can go to Phoenix. I can go to LA. I can go to San Diego. I can go to San Francisco. Go to Reno. And that's all within a day's drive. You know what I mean? Like all around Vegas. And that was actually the reason why I went to Vegas, or I picked Vegas, because it's so centrally located. Not to mention, it's one of the busiest airports in the country. So I can easily fly out of there to any place and do a gig, I guess you could say. So this is a process that's going to take a while, Firehawk, but I'm getting there, bud. No worries. And thank you for looking out for me. I think that was Firehawk that said that. Dave, you're right. It's front wheel drive. It's in the snow. Yes. Looking forward to seeing your full tour of your build soon. Yeah, end of the month. End of the month. I'm taking it out. I'm going to take it out by myself is really what I want to do, because I want to enjoy it by myself in peace and quiet, just chilling, middle of nowhere, overlooking like a valley or something epic. I was waiting for it to warm up just a little bit so I don't have to take my heater with me. So we'll see. Hi, Kimberly Barker. Did I say that? Yeah, Barker. Alexander, maybe I butchered that name wrong. Front wheel drive is less likely to get stuck. Rear wheel drive, I think front wheel drive is better in weather conditions, but it is more likely to the ProMaster is more likely to get stuck in sand than a rear wheel drive because of weight variation from front to back. So putting weight in the back of a ProMaster lifts up enough just that those front tires can't get enough traction to get out of sandy locations. Or muddy locations. But that's it's rare that you would put yourself into that situation. However, that's kind of what I was getting at. Now, driving, controlling the vehicle, it is easier to control a vehicle while driving as its front wheel than it is rear wheel in the torrential downpour or in snow, because of, it could slide out from the back. Front wheel, that's how, I guess, physics works, right? Where do my tour schedule? Mark, great question. I will put that all up on my website, which is just jaredtachi.com. Can I even put that here? I'm going to be updating my website soon, but there will still be an events page is what I'm trying to get at. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be wrapping this up. Holy crap. 30 minutes. I told myself I wasn't going to do 30. Oh. Let's get the last few questions in, then I'm going to call it a day so I can go to the gym and get a workout in and just try to lose, this. Already. Picked up the 2024 Transit for all my cabinet business. Been converting in the next few years. Hydronic in the floor heating is at the top of my list, but I have not doing everything on my own. But I hate not doing everything on my own. Gordon, reach out to them. They do have a DIY version. They just ask you every question under the sun to make sure that you can handle the install yourself. So they do have a DIY option, but again, I think you're voiding the warranty, and I think that they have to ask you to make sure that you are capable enough to put it in and do all that. And then you have to sign an NDA for proprietary reasons. What's up from Australia? First time I've been able to catch you live. Well, thank you for coming on. Even though I'm about to end, I appreciate your time, Susie. It's all Mopro products. You're absolutely right. Up here in northern British Columbia, Canada, all-wheel drive is a must-have. I actually don't doubt that, Gordon. And if you are in BC, there's a couple installers that you're probably aware of, Gordon, that can do the Van Life Tech system. But My buddy Scott, what's his handle? I'm blanking on who he is, but he's an installer up there. So is, I think, Nomad Vans. Janine, thank you. Don't forget to pay. Oh, thank you, Dave. I gotta call my damn trash people back. Somebody else just texted me too. I don't know why. That's so weird that they did that. Hi and bye, Izzy. All right, guys. I'm gonna say goodnight. I got a tour video coming out tomorrow. I believe his name was Kevin. It's a really nice ProMaster that, and I guess I haven't, according to Kevin, I haven't shown a lot of ProMasters, which I kind of disagree with. I think that I have showed a lot of ProMaster builds on my channel, but his ProMaster is really, really well done. It was a complete DIY van build. Believe it's 4-season. I believe he used the air top heater. I believe he has a hot water system. I believe he put his tanks underneath, and he used a heating element. So it's going to be a cool tour when it comes out. I haven't started editing it, so I'm doing that tonight. Hi there, Power Banks. Which one is your favorite? Ooh, probably the Bluetti. Or Light Harvest Solar rebrands it as theirs as well, but the Bluettis are probably the best for like big ones. For travel purposes, Jackery is very sufficient for like small, like just laptop charging or things like that. But if you want to like power a whole van, Bluettis or Gold Zeros. Bluettis are probably slightly got the edge on that one. But like for my rooftop tent, I use like a Jackery, or even my down there you can't see it. I have the new Relion one, which I kind of like. Thank you, Bobby Joe. All right, guys. I will see you guys next Wednesday when I go live again. Let's see what I can get myself into. Let's see what kind of trouble I can get myself into between now and then, and maybe I'll go live somewhere cool other than my freaking living room. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.